Hey everybody, welcome to the bed. I'm in bed still. I'm going to get up. I was standing up all day yesterday and I'm a bit achy, I won't lie, because the studio recording setup that I have means I stand up to record. It's much better actually to stand up when you record. It opens up your diaphragm and allows your speaking voice to be a bit more, how would I say? It allows you more breath control and a bit more strength and projection. So I've been reading the story, narration, and I've also been singing, which I'm not very good at. I really need my AI tools to perfect it. It's interesting though, I like my voice. I just don't have the time to perfect the tuning and the breathing and everything else that you need to be a really good singer. And as a musician and a composer, I do understand the difference between a good voice and a bad voice. I mean, I'm not daft. It's, the reason I use my own voice is because I don't have anybody else's to use, and I would like to use someone else's. However, I do like something about my voice. I don't know what it is, but I like something about it. It just means there's a lot of work when you're not a good singer, but it doesn't mean you can't be a singer. It doesn't mean to say that, you have to find another job. Not in this day and age. If you follow my podcast, you'll get lots of tips on how to create a singing voice that's acceptable. I mean, the latest one I've done is much more about sampling anyway. But I'll tell you what I did. I had my first release, I think it was, or second, which was called It's Life. And it's really badly mastered. It's got bits of it that I really liked. But the awful thing was that when I upgraded my Mac, I lost the original project. So all I have is the recording, the MP3, or is it MP4? I can't remember. That's all I have. So, it's basically uneditable, which is a real shame because I don't think the timing was right. I don't think the tuning was quite right, although I'll talk about tuning in a minute. It was just a badly produced track. But also, I was very embarrassed about my voice because somebody told me I couldn't sing, and I really felt that I really needed to sing because I'm singing the musical. This was a musical. I was writing a musical. And what I really had in mind was that someone from Hollywood would come over and buy it. I didn't realise I would start to be so invested in this musical that I really got into it. And I didn't realise that I was going to require certain things of my voice long term. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, being an older person, do you want to start a completely new creative career? No. I mean, I have sort of. But using all the equipment that I have, and this is 2 or 3 years down the line. Hello, gorgeous. I'm so much better at production and engineering and all the techie stuff. And now listening to that, I think, oh, why did I do that? And why was I whispering? Or not whispering, but I wasn't opening my throat and I wasn't giving the vocal any strength because I was so embarrassed about it. And it really notices. And there is absolutely nothing that I can find on Logic Pro that can sort that out. The only way to sort it out was to re-record the vocals, which I've done, and for the new track, so it's way better. It's lovely. It's beautiful. I love it. It's nothing like the original. It's the only similarity of a few words. I didn't sample any of the original track because it wasn't working with what I was doing. It really didn't work. It's different if you're sampling the vocal only or the drums only, or I couldn't access what drums I use. I seem to recall at that point, hello, darling, I may have even done it on GarageBand actually, but I seem to remember at that point I was going to sites that did free loops. So the drums might have come off a free loop site. I have no idea. It was very early in my musical career. Hello, darling, can you hear? Can you hear him purring? He's very loud today, aren't you? Yes, he's very loud today. So, really interesting. What I thought I could do, and this was filthy, right? Absolutely filthy. I downloaded the file, which I ripped off YouTube because I didn't actually have the track. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? So it's already lost so much. In fact, did I I didn't download it because I can't download my own music. I had to record it, re-record it, or rip it. I can't remember, something like that. So I ripped it. And then I opened it up in Logic Pro, and I created a MIDI file from the information. And it was a very narrow MIDI file. It didn't show all the intricacies of the recording, and it was quite intricate. There was lots of weaving of different sound effects and things. Now, the sound effects really pollute everything, the signals, and what I ended up with was something very boring. It was very boring. The range was very narrow. But what I did, I thought, well, let's try, because I've done that before. I do that quite a lot. It's great fun, actually. I once took a recording from a very early piece of music, obviously in the public domain because it was, from the 1700s. No, the recording was actually about 1900s. And I made a MIDI file from it. And then I put that into, various instruments to see what happened. It's really useful to be very experimental, and I work with MIDI files all the time. I also work with real audio, when I say real audio, I mean it's all audio, but I work with, analog, is that how you say it? Analog recordings, rather than MIDI, which is a digital. It's information, it's data. Anyway, it wasn't really happening for me. I basically, the drum beat, I couldn't find the drum beat that blended in with the sample. And that's the most important thing you need. And I have done that before and it hasn't worked at all. I think you'll find some of my stuff that's happening on. I mean, remember, I'm experimental, so I don't mind what I put up. I like the experiment. I mean, that's how you really learn about things, and that's how. There's always in an experiment. There's always some little gem. Always, the tiniest of gems, and you need the confidence to put it out there, because you don't notice the gem until it's out there. Yeah. Anyway, things were not panning out, so I re-recorded the vocals and basically used the vocals to create all the music. It's completely different with the same tune, if that makes sense. I mean, it's really interesting how I came about it. Anyway, this is all getting around, very long-winded way of saying things. So I was standing up all day yesterday doing this, and now my voice I can feel it in my voice that I've, exhausted it. And that's because, again, I'm no singer, and I didn't do my warm-ups. No warm-up exercises. That's, you can't do that. You have to do your la, 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 all of that. You have to do all that. You have to take your lemon and honey or shot of whiskey, to loosen up those vocal cords. I mean, I can really feel the strain this morning. And I don't want to go down that road. I mean, I'm narrating a load of books. So the last thing I need is for my voice to go. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I've recorded the book, the episode, right? I think it's about 6 minutes. And I've got to tweak it. And I'm going to put some music behind it. But I think I might be able to use the music from the original track. There are some little areas in it where I'm not, weakly singing over the top. That's what I need to get. And if I can, those will form the background noise for the story. And then at the end of the story, you get the song, the new track. And all of that goes in with the videos. So on Logic Pro, you can import a movie. So you've got the movie up at the top with all your stills on, and it's really helpful to lay your music track. So, that's a really good idea. Whether I put the reading on there as well, on the same track, in my Logic Pro project file, I'm not sure I'd risk that. I think it might be better to keep them separate, and then in your final edit, the final edit. I mean, I have so many final edits. I have rough cuts, mix downs, final edit. Here's something wrong. Final edit, what, 2? Final. I mean, final edit 5 is not unheard of in my world, because there's always some little thing. At some point, you have to sort of say, right, that's it. The baby's ready. Do you know what I mean? So, what I'll probably do is work like crazy today and tomorrow without talking or singing, and hopefully it'll be published by Saturday. So really, really excited, to be honest. Absolutely over the moon about it. I think the Audible recording I might have to do it again. I mean, I just kept hearing little clicks and the neighbours, which I didn't notice when I was recording. It's infuriating when there's just a narration to record, because, of course, the microphone is so strong, it's so powerful, it actually picks up every little sound. The rustling and the cat walking across the room or scratching its claws or whatever it may be, the cat purring, all of these things. Your microphone, if you've got a good one, I've got a Rhodes thing, it will pick up every little sound. And, I mean, you can actually hear on mine the neighbours' words when they're arguing. With the naked ear, I can't hear their words. I mean, they do argue a lot. No, they don't argue a lot. They argue deeply, screeching and yelling. Normally when they've run out of weed, to be honest. I know when they've been paid, when their salaries have come in, because everything's quiet and, but we all have our things to calm us down, do we not? I mean, I'm not sleeping at the moment because I'm not calm, because I'm filled with excitement. So the video books, I'm going to pop up a little sneak peek in a minute. And I'm just so excited, honestly, really excited. While we're on the subject of being a jobbing musician and making music your career, sorry about that, knocked something over. The 4 videos a day it's quite interesting what they're doing, but it's only really one that does well. So I might just do 1 or 2 today and maybe release them at different times of the day. I thought I'd try that for us and see if it works. So, if I do 1 now and then 1 tonight, because they're very quick for me now, they've certainly upped my reach on YouTube. But, as yet, I'm not earning money on YouTube. And really, as a person who's trying to make money here, is that wise? Excuse me. It's really going now, isn't it? Is that wise to spend so much time on something that doesn't generate income, that will generate it in the future, but it's not generating it at the moment? So all the moments that you spend each day, one has to wonder eventually, is this a wise decision? So I think really we're just going to focus the coming weeks on the new video books and just push those and not really focus on all the other books that I do. Do you see what I mean? So it's all about immersion, the sci-fi series. The video books are going to be, I think they're going to be groundbreaking. And the reason I think they're going to be groundbreaking is because they're so bloody good. But also, I've always wanted a cerebral influence. I wanted storytelling to use so many different senses for the reader that they came away having had a cerebral experience. And you only do that with multimedia. And the only thing I don't have is somebody walking into it. But I have, the visuals, the words, the music. And I think for now, that's enough. Later on when Hollywood gets into it, I don't know if it's Hollywood anymore though, is it? It's probably somebody else who's probably, maybe it's Britain who will come and fund my 3D experience. Or not mine, but, of the books. Who knows? Who knows what the future is? I did go and watch, just quickly, I watched a 3D film the other day with my grandson, and I wasn't particularly impressed. Not a 3D, but surround cinema. Okay, bye.